What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this Wednesday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen? How's everybody doing today? Tomorrow is the day that we all been waiting for. I just got done with the Bleacher Report 32, first round, 32 different creators mock draft on Bleacher Report, and man, it was a fun thing to do. Thank you everybody that obviously tunes in and watches and gives me the opportunity to do what I love, and that's obviously talk about my favorite team and being involved in things like this and getting involved with a big company like Bleacher Report has absolutely been huge. It's absolutely been huge. Also, huge shout out here to the channel members of the Arizona Sports Fan here on YouTube. Thank you so very much for going the extra mile. I absolutely do appreciate it. And today we're going to be talking about our favorite team again, the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm super excited about it. If you guys haven't done this already, do me a huge favor. Smack up the like button. Do it for the algorithm. And it just lets the other Cardinal fan out there know that this channel is currently going live. That's it. It's not thing that, no sweat off your back. It takes about 1 second. Definitely smack it up if you can. If not, no worries. Let's get started here. I am super excited about this, ladies and gentlemen. We got the draft tomorrow. And we got a report that came out this morning from Jordan Schultz that I really want to dive into and talk about it. Now, we did go live yesterday as well. I believe it was around like 7 p.m. Obviously talking about the reports about, Ian Rappaport and what we ended up hearing from him. And, this report that we heard from Jordan Schultz is pretty similar, right? But kind of different at the same time. So this is what we really want to dive into. And obviously, I really want to get your guys' feedback and what you guys truly feel about, what Jordan Schultz is out here saying. So let's go ahead and start off here with the report. Now, this is a screenshot here from my report, but also providing it to Jordan Schultz. And it says this: per Jordan Schultz report, the Arizona Cardinals are driving a hard bargain to move off of the 4th overall pick. They would be happy to stay at 4 and pick Marvin Harrison Jr. And then I put, don't settle. Don't believe me? Well, here we go. Here's Jordan Schultz's official tweet, and it says this: NFL draft notes I've gathered after speaking with multiple team sources. The Arizona Cardinals are driving a hard bargain to move back and are more than happy to take Marvin Harrison Jr. at 4. So here we are, right? Here we are. I think you guys already know my spiel and how I feel about the Arizona Cardinals not being too greedy, how I feel about the Arizona Cardinals potentially going after one of the best wide receivers in the NFL draft. And to be honest with you, when we did this 32 creator first round mock draft and Bleacher Report, nobody batted an eye. Nobody batted an eye about the Arizona Cardinals driving Marvin Harrison Jr. Everybody said it's a right pick. It's exactly what you should do. And I feel like that's exactly what the Arizona Cardinals should do as well. Now, it's a little interesting to me that, the Arizona Cardinals are driving a hard bargain, because you really got to think about it this way here, ladies and gentlemen. You got to think about it this way. The fact that the Arizona Cardinals are doing exactly what they should be doing. They're doing exactly what they should be doing. They should be driving a hard bargain, because who you have falling to your laps, and I'm kind of comparing it to most mock drafts that we're seeing out there, right? And most mock drafts have quarterback, right? That's what I'm comparing it to. But you're going to have falling to your lap one of the best wide receivers that we've seen come out of the draft in quite some time. And for the people out there that are saying Larry Fitzgerald didn't get you a Super Bowl, oh, Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to make you win, that argument is just so, I don't even know how to describe it. I truly don't. You have a chance to get one of the best prospects in the entirety of college, arguably, right? Some might say Caleb Williams, which obviously I think he gets a little bit more excitement because he's a quarterback, but you better bet your bottom dollar before Justin Fields was traded away, most Bears fans out there was saying Marvin Harrison Jr. needs to be the pick. I don't care if it's 1st overall. Marvin Harrison Jr. needs to be the pick. So the Arizona Cardinals are finding themselves in a very interesting situation. Now, just because this report has been put out there, right? Now, I want to be very clear. These reports are put out there with sources that these big media credential guys are going in here. And this is opinion at the end of the day, right? So just because we heard Jordan Schultz come out here and say that we're driving a hard bargain and would be more than happy to stay at 4. You can look at it a couple different ways, right? You can look at it as, yeah, that's exactly what the Arizona Cardinals should do, right? Or you can look at it as, yeah, that's exactly what the Arizona Cardinals should do because you have generational talent Marvin Harrison Jr. there at 4, right? And it would take a massive, massive package to move out of that 4th overall pick, especially if you're thinking about moving over to number 11, which I don't fully endorse personally, but I know there's some Cardinal fans out there that do want the 3 first-round picks. It's not that I'm not a fan of the 3 first-round picks. Obviously, if it happens, we will settle it. We will be what it is. But what I'm hearing right now, I don't know if anybody's going to be willing to give us the package that the Arizona Cardinals want. And if that's the case, then we might find ourselves with Marvin Harrison Jr. falling to our laps with the 4th overall pick. Well, I guess not falling to, we know he's going to fall to our laps, right? That's no big surprise. We know he's going to fall to our laps. We know it. It's just, are we going to pull the trigger? That's the biggest question out there. Are we going to pull the trigger? Now, I do have a big question out there. A huge question. For the people out there that want the Arizona Cardinals to trade back for 3 first-round picks, what's the plan? What's the plan? What's the plan for the Arizona Cardinals if they do get 3 first-round picks? Now, obviously, it depends who falls, but I don't want to hear that answer. I want to hear who are the prospects you want. Who do you think is going to fall to 11? Who do you think is going to fall to 23? Who do you think is going to fall to 27? What is the plan if the Arizona Cardinals do trade back for 3 first-round picks? Now, it's still on the table. I'm not coming out here and saying, oh, it's official, right? It's official. I'm only going based off of my instincts and what I feel like this team should do to take that extra step, right? I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to go ahead and get us a Super Bowl or make us a Super Bowl team, right? I'm not foolish. I know that, but I know darn well that position will be extremely upgraded with a player like a Marvin Harrison Jr. on this roster. So my question to you guys out there, for the people that are saying trade back for 3 first-round picks, what's the plan? Who do you want at 11? Who do you want at 23? Who do you want at 27? Like I said earlier, I get it. It depends on who falls to the Arizona Cardinals. I'm fully aware, but I don't want to hear that answer. I want to hear, what is the plan? What do you think the plan is for the Arizona Cardinals if they do decide to trade back? And if you ask yourself, are those players that you're listing off, are they better than a said Marvin Harrison Jr.? Are those players that you're saying that the Cardinals need to bring in there, are they number 1 in their position groups heading into the 2024 NFL draft? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. Because with what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing a wide receiver that's got a potential to be offensive rookie of the year. And I get it. Maybe we might be throwing up a little bit too much smoke. Okay, I'll give you that. But we got a guy that's going to be a potential offensive rookie of the year in Marvin Harrison Jr. And on top of that, he's landing in a perfect situation with Kyler Murray throwing the ball to him. So my question to y'all that want to trade back, and there's no wrong answers here. I'm not coming out here to try to expose people. No, I'm seriously curious to figure out what's the plan. Because if the plan is just get 3 first-round picks, it's going to be great for us in the long run. That's not really a plan. What's the plan? Who do you think is going to be number 1 in the position that's going to fall to 11, that's going to fall to 23, and that's going to fall to 27? Let me know your thoughts. Because honestly, arguably one of the best prospects can fall to you. And he's the best at his position. I can almost promise you that. He's the best at his position. Now, yes, you can throw in, well, Malik Neighbors is better at yak, right? Okay, that's fine, right? You can throw in the idea of, oh, I like the traits of Roman Dunze. Like, I like Roman Dunze too. I like Malik Neighbors too. I truly do like him. But the reports are the reports. We're seeing Jordan Schultz come out here and specifically name Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, why, right? That's the question. Why? Because most people feel like Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best wide receiver in this draft. Bar none. Bar none. So the question remains, if the Arizona Cardinals trade back, who are the players that you want the Cardinals to get at 11, 23, and 27? Because 3 first-round picks most likely is coming from the Vikings, if that's the case. or unless we settle for, let's say, for example, the Broncos and we move to 12, and then we still get 3 first-round picks. This year, we get one for 2025 and then 2026. Is that the plan? I am seeing yet anybody in the chat give me a response that would make me feel happy and sleep. I don't see a response in here. I don't see a response because I don't think there is a plan. I don't think there is a plan. 3 first-round picks sounds nice, right? 3 first-round picks sound nice. Okay, that's cool. But if you're going to go ahead and give up on a potential guy like a Marvin Harrison Jr. just because we want to accumulate draft picks, right? My precious, right? We're trying to be like Gollum, get everything we possibly can. Like for what? I think there's a big difference between Cardinal fans that want to win and Cardinal fans that are thinking of this as, okay, well, this is the long haul, right? This is exactly what you need to do. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, there's no exact blueprint. There's no exact blueprint. You can either do the Lions way and start competing in year 3, or you can do the Texans way, where the Texans automatically got their quarterback in CJ Stroud. They got Will Anderson Jr., and they were put in a position that nobody saw coming. Nobody saw the Texans do what they were going to do. Nobody did. So it's not about how many picks you have. It's about the quality of picks you're providing to this organization, bar none. A player at 11, there could be a good player falling to 11. That's true. That's true. But you're also risking the fact of you have 10 players picked in front of you, right? And you're taking a risk. You're taking a gamble. I wouldn't mind trading back to 6 personally. Like I said, if they do truly like Malik Neighbors, I don't mind that. And there's still a possibility that the Chargers might go Neighbors over Harrison. Maybe not, but there's still a slight possibility. If the Cardinals truly do that, then yeah, 6 makes sense. 3 first-round picks, I get sounds sweet. I get sounds good. I just don't know if that's going to be the route the Arizona Cardinals are going to do. I mean, per this report here from Jordan Schultz, we're driving a hard bargain. Who knows what Monty's asking for? Maybe it's so unattainable that these teams that are trying to trade up, they're like, nah, bro, we're probably not going to go that. We're probably not going to do that. Okay, that's fine. Well, guess what? We don't need to. We don't need to move. We're okay taking the best prospect in the NFL or in the college level in Marvin Harrison Jr. We're okay with it. We're absolutely 110% okay with that. I love hearing this. I truly, truly do. I don't think it's Marvin Harrison Jr. or bust personally, but if he's there at 4 and you're picking at 4, you're going Marvin Harrison Jr. You have to. You have to. If you do like Roma Odunze, if you like Malik Neighbors, okay, then maybe potentially trade back to 6, right? Maybe the Giants could potentially get you a second, but that's still not a king's ransom. Like, really, it's like I said last night. What will make me more upset is if the Arizona Cardinals don't land one of these top 3 wide receivers. That will make me more upset. But if you're picking at 4, you need to go Marvin Harrison Jr. You need to. Because Rome Odunze will be at 6. Maybe Malik Neighbors will be there at 6. If you go back to 11, risking 3 first-round picks just to say, I got 3 first-round picks, it doesn't really get you those top premier type of players that you need to make an absolute impact on your team. You can bring in talent, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm not debating that you can't bring in talent. Absolutely, you can bring in talent for sure. It's just, this is what you're handed, right? You're picking at 11. You're forced to try to trade up, give up draft capital, just like we did last year, and you're left with the wide receiver that falls to you. Or there is not a team that wants to trade out of their position, and the Arizona Cardinals end up picking at 11 and don't get a top 3 wide receiver. That's worst case scenario. But you got 3 first-round picks. I'm not one of those guys that feel like that is the best route for the Arizona Cardinals personally. And I asked you guys here in the chat, what's the plan if we do get 3 first round? What are the prospects you want? Here we go. Okay, so we got Mikey here. Okay, so let me clarify. Give me the prospects you want. That's what I'm asking for. That's what I'm asking. I'm asking for the prospects you want that you feel like it's going to fall to 11, 23, and 27. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. I'm looking for the prospects you want the Arizona Cardinals to potentially go after 11, 23, and 27. If that is truly what you want the Cardinals to do. Because most Cardinal fans that say trade back to get 3 first round picks, they don't have a plan. They're just like, I trust Monty, right? I'm going in here blind. And I guess that's fine, right? Okay, that's okay. But like, I can't really take anybody's word on that because I need to hear a plan. Like, what's the plan? So we got my guy saying the plan is to trade back and fill the roster out with talent across the board wherever Monty and that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't trust Monty. But if you're coming out here and say I want 3 first round picks, but you're not advocating for any of these players to kind of come in here and say that these are going to be the next best thing, then why do you want A minus, B plus, B minus, C type of guys? Because we got 11. If this trade goes through, we got 11, we got 23, and then we got 27. You know what type of prospect goes, right? Before top 20? You can still get some gems. Yeah, that's the truth. You can still get some gems. But I'm looking for, who do you want the Arizona Cardinals to pick? Do you feel like Olufashanu or Fashanu, however you say his last name? Do you want him? Are you looking for tackle help? Is that what are you looking for, a wide receiver in 23? Are you looking to trade up and get Brian Thomas Jr.? What's the plan? What's the plan? Because I never hear it. I never hear it. All I hear is get draft capital and fill up the roster. Well, okay. I mean, easier said than done. But I almost promise you, if the Cardinals don't go this route or the route of a top 3 wide receiver, we're going to be hitting our heads over and over again in the 2024 season because Kyler Murray doesn't have a weapon to throw to. Now, yes, can you get a wide receiver in the second round? Yes, you can. But I cannot explain to let you guys understand that there's a big difference between the top 3 wide receivers and the rest of the wide receivers in this draft. I almost promise you, if any team was in the position of the Arizona Cardinals, any team was in the position of the Arizona Cardinals, we wouldn't be hearing anything. We wouldn't be hearing about this. Or maybe, I guess we would be hearing it, right? Maybe we would, right? But most teams would go after the best wide receiver that falls to their lap in Marvin Harrison Jr. There is a big difference between Marvin, Malik, and Rome Odunze, and then your Xavier Worthies, or your Leggett, or your A.D. Mitchell, right? Keon Coleman, right? Those type of guys, they are good wide receivers. They are. I'm not saying they're not. But there's a big, big drop-off, ladies and gentlemen, a big drop-off between those wide receivers. I think we're all expecting a huge jump from Michael Wilson, right? And he's a 3rd-round pick. I think he did good for his rookie year. If he could stay healthy, I think he could be a fantastic wide receiver too for the Arizona Cardinals. But that's the big thing. Can he stay healthy? That's the big thing. Can he stay healthy? We're looking for a number 1 wide receiver that's going to put fear in the opposing defense, put fear in that defensive coordinator that we're playing on Sundays, Thursdays, and Mondays. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a solid wide receiver that's going to be putting fear in it, in those defenses. And you cannot sit here and tell me you would rather take one of those wide receivers in the 23s over Odunze, Malik, or Marvin, right? And if that's the case, okay. All right. Well, I mean, I guess it's just, Opinions are opinions. That's the truth, right? The Arizona Cardinals here have an opportunity to really, really land themselves a really, really good wide receiver. To me, it's stick and pick. Listen to those offers, but I love the idea of hearing this. I love the idea of hearing this from Jordan Schultz, because this tells me that Monty Ossenfort, although all the options are on the table and all the blinking lights are on, open for business, is on the table. But this tells me that he's truly going to do best for this organization. And I'm not saying trading back to 6 is not best for the organization, right? I'm not saying trade to 11 is not best for the organization. I'm not saying that, because there's still a dream scenario where the Arizona Cardinals trade to 11 and somehow make a deal to move to 5, right? There's still somehow that deal. If that can happen, then we're talking about a masterclass like we haven't seen in ever in Cardinals history. To me, the draft is a risk. Oh, absolutely. It's like going to the casino. You have a favorite machine. Every time you go, it's a risk. You're going to lose money? Yeah, probably. You probably will. But here's the thing. If you're looking for a prospect that is almost certain, and I'm not saying he's 100% bulletproof, 100% to the fact that he's not going to, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you're trying to play the chances here of a guy that is probably not going to bust, but has a slight possibility of busting compared to a wide receiver picked up in the 23, 27, 35, just really depending on where the Cardinals take a wide receiver, the probability of Marvin busting is a lot less because of who he is, what his family has done, what he's done in college. Absolutely dominant. He was dominant. Dominant. There's no other way to say it, but he's dominant. And I feel the same way about Harrison as I do to Malik, as I do to Odunze. The Cardinals need to get one of these top 3 wide receivers. Facts. Let's go with these contributions coming our way. We got Big Mama Scooby says Harrison, Neighbors, or bust. Okay. Well, I love the idea of adding another wide receiver and then saying bust. I love it. To me, it's Harrison, Neighbors, Odunze, or bust, to be honest with you. I truly feel like it. You need to get one of these wide receivers, no doubt. And then we got Big Mama Scooby again with another $1.99 donation. He says K1 needs help. Yeah, absolutely. You can't go into 2023 with Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, Andre Bocelli, and Zach Pascal. You just can't. You can't. The best wide receiver is going to fall in your lap, or at least per me, right? The way I feel like these draft boards are going to fall. You got to go with the best prospect available, right? BPA, like people are saying out there. BPA is now a new thing that I've been hearing this year. Best player available. You trade back to 11, okay, we could still make some magic happen, but you're probably going to be settling, especially if you pick at 11. You're going to be settling for 3rd offensive tackle, best offensive tackle. Sure as heck, 4th or 5th best wide receiver, depending on who falls in edge, right? Maybe Dallas Turner does fall. We don't know. 2nd, 3rd best edge rusher. Maybe you can get cornerback, but picking a corner that high, I don't know if I'm there. I don't know if I'm there. I'm willing to trade that 27th overall. Like I said, it's not my decision, but if I was the GM, I'm willing to if I really like a cornerback or an edge player, move that 27th overall and then make a pick. I feel like that would be ideal, but here we are, right? Let's continue with the contributions. We got Roger in the house. What's up, Roger? He says, what's up, AZ Sports fan? Found you from the NFC West Roundtable. I'm a Rounds fan, but I appreciate your football takes. You should just take Marvin Harrison Jr. This is coming from a Los Angeles Rams fan, ladies and gentlemen. This is coming from a Rams fan. I appreciate you, Roger. Thank you so very much for the $5 dono. You didn't have to do that. I really do appreciate it. This is coming from a Rams fan. I don't understand the debate. I truly do not understand the debate. You got to go with the best player available, the best, potentially best prospect coming into this, into this year's draft. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. The Arizona Cardinals need wide receiver. And guess what? Marvin's there. It doesn't get more perfect than that. It doesn't get more perfect from that. Let's go with Jonathan. What's up, Jonathan? Appreciate you, man. He says, see you tomorrow at the draft party. All right, Jonathan, thank you so very much for joining the chat, man. Absolutely appreciate it. Let's keep it going with these contributions. We got Redface saying, if I was Monty, I'd stay at 4. I agree. I agree. If I was Monty Ossenfort, I would stay at 4 too. I'm not going to say the problem. The situation that we're living in right now is that the Arizona Cardinals traded back last year for draft picks. But the way I like to look at it is you can't continue just to trade back and leave these talented, almost surefire, blue chip, whatever you want to call them, prospects for everybody else to benefit from, and you just getting top 2, top 3, top 4 best players in their position. Eventually, you got to pull the trigger. Eventually, you got to pull the trigger and get yourself a potential new face of the organization. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be the new face of the organization, along with Kyler Murray, right? He would be the new face of the organization. You don't ever want to pick here again. We've heard this multiple times. Multiple times. For the people out there, I'm going to try it one more time. For the people out there that want 3 first-round picks and they want to make that trade up or trade back, I apologize, that trade back with the Vikings, what is the plan at 11? What is the plan at 23? And what's the plan at 27? Who are the players you want the Arizona Cardinals to potentially go after? If you want to throw somebody in there, give me the list right now if you want 3 first-round picks. I don't want to hear, we want to put in every position, and I'm trusting Monty. No, that's not an answer. I want prospects. Give me who you want at 11. What is the plan? Truth be told, a lot of people that want 3 first-round picks just want to say they have 3 first-round picks for some reason. I don't know why. The Cardinals have 11 picks. How much more can I try to explain this? The Arizona Cardinals have 11 picks this year. 11. 6 picks in the top 100. We have 6 swings in the top 100. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to get what? 9 picks in the top 100 for more swings to potentially land a superstar, right? Because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for superstars, right? We're looking for superstars. We're not looking for journeymen. We're not looking for somebody that's going to be a placement holder. We're not looking for somebody saying, we don't want to pick up his 5th-year option. We're not looking for those players. We're looking for, how surefire does this get? Who has a strong probability of not busting? The Arizona Cardinals need to go after the best player, but I don't know how else to explain it. I really don't. People that want 3 first-round picks, please tell me your plan. I'm so curious. Let's keep going with the super chats here. We got my guy Roger coming up again. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for being here, by the way. He says this, my opinion, last year was AZ setup this year. Take the best player. Boom! How? Can you be a Cardinal fan, Roger? Can you be a Cardinal fan, please? You're right. This is the year we washed 2023 away, right? I think most Cardinals fans, with the exception of myself, because I'm as delusional as they come, and I always think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be in contention to do something, not for the Super Bowl, but to win a freaking game, right? I know my wife tells me I'm crazy every single day. I'm fully aware. I get it. But here's the thing. We washed away 2023 for this year. I think this is a difference here. There's a difference between Cardinal fans that want to win and Cardinal fans that are like, okay, no worries. Let's make progress. That's what I'm looking for, progress. Okay, well, yeah, I'm looking for progress too. But I still want to freaking win. I still want to win. Kyler Murray wants to win. Budda Baker wants to win. James Conner wants to win. Everybody on this roster that's a veteran that we know that are dogs, they want to win. You get Marvin Harrison Jr., best player available, you have a chance of making your wide receiving core that much better. There's no way else to describe it. You get Malik Neighbors in this wide receiving core, your wide receiving core automatically upgraded. You get Roma Dunze on this wide receiving core, your wide receiving core automatically upgraded tremendously. Obviously, I favor Marvin a little bit more over the other two, but I would take any of them. I will take any of them. No worries, Roger. Appreciate you for being here, by the way. Sorry, I can't. I just don't want to see the 49ers on top anymore. Anybody but them in the NFC West. I agree. I'm tired of the 49ers. I truly am. I'm coming in this way as a fan that truly, truly wants this Arizona Cardinals team to succeed. And by succeed means win. And per Jordan Schultz here in this last report that he ended up giving us to us oh so graciously, this made me even more emphasized and more excited about the idea of us sticking and picking. For the new people that are joining in, Jordan Schultz ended up dropping this earlier this morning. He says this: draft notes I gathered after speaking with multiple team sources. Arizona Cardinals are driving a hard bargain to move back and are more than happy to take Marvin Harrison Jr. at 4. Does not get you the happiness? Does that not get you the warm and fuzzies? It sure as heck does to me. It sure as heck gives me the warm and fuzzies. Because honestly, this is what the Cardinals need. And I get it. Some people are like, you can't draft for need. Well, here's the kicker. Here's the best part. Here's the beautiful part. The Arizona Cardinals can get the best player available and also get a player that they need. So let's see what the Arizona Cardinals can accomplish here if they get Marvin Harrison Jr. at 4. Best player available in all of college. And I promise you, if there was no other quarterback needy teams, they probably would go Marvin Harrison Jr. It's just that we're fortunate. We're fortunate the fact that we got very much quarterback needy teams in the top 3. So we're very fortunate. Thank you, Matt Prater. Thank you, Matt Prater. Right? You made a sacrifice. I appreciate it. But we can get the best player in college football. We can automatically upgrade our wide receiving core. You know, people are like, don't draft for need. Well, here's the kicker. We are, and we can, and it will still not matter. And on top of that, you got a new face of the franchise. You got a player that fans can get excited about. We're talking about 2 back-to-back 4-win seasons, and we got Cardinals fans out here saying it's a process. We got Cardinals fans out here saying it's a process, Mike. Back-to-back 4-win seasons. If Monty and JG is going to come out here and saying it's a process, they probably won't be in this job. We get it. It takes time to rebuild, right? I'm not expecting Super Bowl this year. I'm expecting a big jump. If you have a franchise quarterback and a weapon like a said Marvin Harrison Jr. or a Malik Neighbors or a Roma Dunze. I'm tired. I'm tired of being the little brother. I'm sick of it. The Arizona Cardinals need to do what probably 80% to 85% of every team in the NFL would do in their shoes. I promise you, 75 to 85%. If anybody was in the shoes of the Arizona Cardinals, they would not bat an eye in getting the best wide receiver of the draft. They wouldn't bat an eye. But because we like to trade back, at least per year 1 of Monty Awesome for it, that's now thrown out there as an option. Now, it could still be an option. Yeah, it still very well can be an option. And I'm not sitting out here and saying it's 100% certain that the Arizona Cardinals are going to pick with the 4th overall pick. But with what we're hearing, if the Arizona Cardinals are really, really driving a hard bargain, that means you need to give me the value of what I can actually get with my 4th overall pick. And if we're driving a hard bargain, 2 to 3 first-round picks might not even be enough for a wide receiver that could potentially be rookie of the year, potentially be a face of your franchise, potentially be a guy that's with your organization for 7 plus, 8, 10 plus years. I'm not going to say Larry Fitzgerald 2.0, but a wide receiver that coveted that name. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Let's continue with the super chats here. Appreciate everybody here in the chat. Thank you so very much for being here. By the way, if you guys haven't already smacked the like button, smack it up. Do it for the algorithm. Let's also remember here at the end of the day, you want the Cardinals to succeed. I want the Cardinals to succeed. Just because we have different takes, just because we have difference of opinion, doesn't mean we can't get along. I just want to make sure I want everybody to be clear that we all can get along. We all want the Bird Gang, the Arizona Cardinals, to succeed at the end of the day. So let's go over here to Red Face. What's up, buddy? He says, I seen Marvin Harrison's highlights. He's good. The next Larry Fitzgerald 2.0. I want him. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And here's the thing, too. Here's the thing. You're getting a potential rookie of the year wide receiver, right? And again, I'm saying potential very, very loosely. Potential potential offensive rookie of the year. These wide receivers that are on the market right now, or that are in the cusp of I need to get paid, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown just got paid the bag. And guess what? I liked Amon-Ra St. Brown in that draft. I wanted the Arizona Cardinals to pick him up in the second round. Cardinals didn't do it. Okay, no worries. But Jefferson, Chase, they're all looking for that coveted big contract. That's what they're looking for. The Arizona Cardinals have the leverage of getting a wide receiver that you can get in a rookie deal for 5+ years. Now, is it not going to be 5+ years? Yes, you're probably right. It'd probably be 2 or 3+ years because let's be honest, a lot of these wide receivers really want to get paid really quickly. CeeDee Lamb being one of them. He was the same draft class that Isaiah Simmons ended up going. He wants to get the bag, and he deserves it. He deserves it. But the Arizona Cardinals have a chance of getting a wide receiver that can get you wide receiver 1 numbers. Wide receiver 1 numbers in a cheap rookie deal for at least 3 years. Let's go that route. Let's go at least 3 years. How do you say no to that? How do you say no to that? And I've seen some arguments out there about people saying, well, Larry Fitzgerald didn't win a Super Bowl. Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to change anything, right? This is just the arguments that I'm hearing out there. I'm just kind of telling you guys. Well, here's the thing. Marvin Harrison Jr. comes into this team. Our offense automatically gets better. But here's the thing also. We're not expecting Super Bowl. We're not expecting Super Bowl. We're expecting the Arizona Cardinals to get a position for the future. Not an unknown piece, not a piece that we're like, he's good. He's getting better, right? Like just almost kind of like let's say, for example, who do we got on our roster? Let's just say Michael Wilson, right? We all love Michael Wilson. We all are on board with Michael Wilson, right? He actually produced very, very well. It's not Michael Wilson's fault that there was quarterbacks every other week, it felt like, right? Dobbs, Tune, Kyler, and it took a while between him and Kyler to get really accustomed to each other and the chemistry to get down. But the way we talk about Michael Wilson, right? We're all expecting a big jump. We all want him to succeed. With Marvin Harrison Jr., it's almost kind of a given. You're brought in here to be wide receiver 1. That's who you are. You are him. The kids say these days, you're him, right? You done it in the collegiate level and you absolutely killed it. He deserves to be in the top 5 picks. No doubt. No doubt. And I truly do hope that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be the one to turn on that card at the 4th overall pick and say, with the 4th pick in the NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals choose Marvin Harrison Jr. I truly hope so. Because like I said earlier, you put 75 to 85% of teams in the position that the Arizona Cardinals are in at 4. I almost promise you, if they're not a quarterback needy team, even if they don't need a wide receiver, nobody will bat an eye. Nobody will bat an eye. And I just do not want the Arizona Cardinals to make that mistake. You go after the guy that's as surefire as they come. Does he have a probability of busting? Yes. Everybody has a probability of busting. We know that. I guess. Pause. Everybody has a probability of being a bust in the NFL. Let's rephrase that. Everybody has got a probability of being a bust in the NFL. But the way people are talking about Marvin Harrison Jr., is as surefire as they come. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You go after the best player available is exactly what the Arizona Cardinals should do. And what we're hearing from Jordan Schultz, what we're hearing from Ian Rappaport, if you guys don't know, let's do this. We got a lot of new people here. Appreciate it. We have almost 230 people watching right now, and that's a combination between Twitter/X and YouTube. So I appreciate y'all for being here. We ended up hearing Ian Rappaport yesterday chime in on the idea that the Arizona Cardinals most likely will go wide receiver. So for the people out there that want Joe Alt, I'm sorry, it's probably not going to happen. But there's still a possibility, but probability wide receiver might be the case. Let's listen in into what Ian Rappaport had to say yesterday.
The stay put option here does seem to be receiver would make the most sense, I think, for them, with all due respect to those mock drafts, which have them going edge. And, from my understanding, it doesn't seem like there's a huge separation between Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr., but if they're picking, they got to pick one. And, I would go with Buda Baker, who is a great evaluator. I think Bugatti Marv, which is not actually his nickname, but certainly would make some sense. I think that would, be a potential face of the franchise there alongside Kyler Murray. But if they're
face of the franchise there. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. If the Cardinals pass up on generational talent again, it's probably going to be something that most Arizona Cardinal fans are not going to be able to forgive. I get it. The fans are not in charge of this team. Monty Alstonfort's in charge of this team. I get that. This is a family show. This is a family show. I get that. But there's just some things you don't do. And that's one thing you don't do. Is it still a probability that the Arizona Cardinals trade for 3 first-round picks? Like I'm seeing my guy here, Mikey, very, very adamant. Very adamant. Don't be disappointed when Monty trades for 3 first-round picks. Very adamant that this is going to happen. Maybe it's just a gut feeling. I don't know. Probability is still there. But if, like I said earlier, it's Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., Roma Odunze, or bust for me. It's not about Marvin. Do I want Marvin? And if we're picking at 4, yes, it better be Marvin. That's all I'm saying. So it's an interesting situation to be. It's an interesting situation to be in right now because the Arizona Cardinals have a chance, a real chance to make some noise and to change this franchise quickly. I just ended up doing a 32 creator first round mock draft for Bleacher Report. It took about 2 hours long, but man, it was absolutely fun. It was so fun to do. The Arizona Cardinals, I had picking, and who fell to the Cardinals was an absolute shock, was an absolute surprise. With the 4th overall pick, I picked Marvin Harrison Jr. No surprise there. With the 27th overall pick, I ended up going after Darius Robinson. He fell. I feel like it was a successful first round for me. But who you can pick at 11 is so much different than who you can pick at 3, at 4. Like I said earlier, Monty, hopefully, or at least what I'm gathering, has set up for this year. 2023 was a wash. An absolute wash. 2024 is when we should start making some noise. We got the Seattle Seahawks with the brand new regime. Geno Smith looked like a shell of himself. Didn't look too great. We need to take advantage of, hopefully, the Super Bowl hangover from the 49ers. We need to take advantage of the Rams. They just lost, or not lost, but Aaron Donald ended up retiring. You got to take advantage. You got to take advantage. Now, there is a scenario here that I've talked about verbatim, right? I've talked about this verbatim. These are still my top trade back options. I made this graphic probably about a month ago. These are my potential trade back options for the Arizona Cardinals. And I remember when I made this and people were like, the Giants aren't going to do that. What? The Giants aren't going to trade. The Giants want to move off of Danny Dimes as fast as they possibly can. They're probably going to keep him for one more year. But don't be surprised next year when we hear some breaking news about a potential trade or a potential release if they get their quarterback that they want. And right now, the way the dominoes seem to want to fall, I think it's going to be Caleb Williams, Jaden, and Drake May. Now, there's a slight possibility. There is a slight possibility that it could be Caleb, JJ McCarthy, and or Drake May or Jaden Daniels who are at 3. There is a slight possibility. Do I think it's realistic? Probably not. Or at least if I was a GM, probably not. But there's still a slight possibility. I'm not high on JJ McCarthy, but I don't have to be. We don't need a quarterback. I don't care about it. I don't care what the other 31 teams do. Or I guess I care what our division does. I don't care what all 28 other teams do. I care less. If somebody's willing to give the bag for JJ, that's their option, right? That's up to them. But the question is the Arizona Cardinals willing to say, I can get equal to the same amount of value with the prospects at 11, 23, and 27? That should be the question that Monty Austinfort has in his head. Can I get equally to the same amount of prospects or the same type of prospects that we can get at 11, 23, and 27? The Cardinals eventually need to take advantage. We heard Michael Bidwell come out here and said that the Cardinals need to take advantage of what's been going on in the NFC West. We heard him even come out here and say that. So if you got the owner coming out saying that, I'm pretty sure that's trickling down to Monty. It's trickling down to JG. The Cardinals need to make a jump. Not talking about Super Bowl. I'm talking about sniffing the playoffs. And that's really low expectations. That's really, really low expectations if you ask me. But sniffing the playoffs can either mean 6, 7, 8 wins. Just depends on what happens in the NFC. So it's a jump. That's what I expect from this Arizona Cardinal team. Maybe I'm just different. Maybe I'm just a different type of fan that's just not going to sit back and say 3 back-to-back losing seasons. Because I almost promise you that the Will Anderson Jr. debate is, I guess it's not really a debate, but Paris Johnson Jr. was a good pick. Very good pick. I'm actually really like Paris Johnson. I like him as a person. I think he's great. But the Cardinals missed out on Defensive Rookie of the Year, Will Anderson Jr. And I'm not saying I regret it. I'm not saying I regret the Arizona Cardinals doing what they did. But you cannot go back-to-back and have both of these players fall on your lap, because that's always going to be something hanging over the head of Monty Austinfort. Of you allow these players to slip out of your hands. And if he does, that's always going to be the thing of what Monty Austinfort's regime has come out to. People are going to keep receipts. I'm not saying I don't like Paris Johnson Jr. I think Paris Johnson Jr. is a great pick. It's what we needed. It's what Kyler wanted. Okay, I'm down with it. You can't. Let's continue with the donos. What's up, JK Gamer? Appreciate you for being here. He says K1, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh, yes, please. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. 110%. There was a graphic that I ended up seeing here. I believe it's from the 33rd team, if I'm not mistaken. And they laid out the potential offense for the Arizona Cardinals. They laid out a potential offense for the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, James Conner, Greg Dortch, Michael Wilson, Trey McBride, and your rookie and Marvin Harrison Jr. How does that not get you excited about this offense? How does that not get you excited about this offense? I still, till the day, till this right now, still haven't heard anybody that wants 3 first-round picks tell me what the plan is. I still haven't heard anybody here that tell me what the plan is. You got to get one of these top 3 first-round picks. You got to. You got to. I apologize. So, here's the funny thing here, ladies and gentlemen. It should, and it's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. I've been talking about this for weeks on weeks on weeks now. It's the right pick. It's the right pick. There's no other way around it. It's the right pick. You gotta you gotta go with it, man. It's the right pick. Somebody on the chat here says nobody because he built his legacy and he. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I've heard the idea of people saying like, well, he's not going to be like his dad. Honestly, with what we're hearing from people that have worked with him, right? Players like Paris Johnson Jr. You even heard people that are from Ohio State. CJ Stroud came out and said, don't overthink this. Don't overthink this. It ain't that hard, guys. It ain't that hard. You're going to give up the 4th overall pick for 3 first-round picks, but I almost promise you, who's going to have the better career? Who's going to have the better Hall of Fame, right? That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. It's Marvin Harrison Jr., ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how else to describe it. I really don't. I don't know how else to describe it to y'all. I really don't. It should be the pick. It absolutely should. So we're going to be closing up shop here. Thank you, everybody, so very much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so very much for allowing me to rant. Thank you so very much for allowing me this platform to come on here and talk about who can be the game changer, who can be the team that's going to make the difference for the Arizona Cardinals. But honestly, right now, with what I've been saying for quite some time, I've talked about the idea of trading back because it's intriguing. Never wanted to do it for a second. Never batted an eye for a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're going to be closing up shop here right now. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.